So, on the last day of December 1994, I'm standing outside of an old 3-story military barracks down in southern Mississippi when this beautiful young lady walks up with her mother and older sister. She walks my way, she looks over and says, "Hey you." Now, I just assumed she was talking to me because I was the only person there. She said, "Hey you, go out to the car and get my bags." Now, friends, I had to do a double take. I thought, the nerve of this young lady. She's pretty bossy, but at least she was pretty. So, me being the kind and jovial young fella that I was, I gathered up a team of boys from Tennessee, and we marched out to the parking lot and gathered up her bags. We did such a great job that by the time we were done, her mother invited me to dinner. Now, I don't know what happened to the other guys, but if you've ever wondered why some relationships work, some relationships just last, and yours or someone you know, relationships of others, they don't work, they don't last. If you've ever just wondered why, then listen closely. Because as me and that beautiful young lady head into our 22nd year of marriage, I've discovered that as leaders, you and I, we have to set the example for others to follow. And for that reason, it's extremely important that we understand and prioritize our most important relationships and that we strive for the best. I remember we weren't married a full year before I headed off on my third military deployment. I was gone for 7 months. My daughter was born on a Thursday and I was deployed. I came home and 7 months later, I was gone again. I remember after my 4th military deployment, one of my friends called up and said, "Hey Ernie, hey brother, listen, how about we hang out this weekend?" And you know what I did? I did something that I was accustomed to doing every time I was home. Anytime I was home, I said, "Hey brother, I'd love to hang out. But when I'm home, I'm home. And when I'm home, it's time for my wife and daughter." Now, you might assume that I missed out on a whole lot of good times with some old friends, good friends. But in all actuality, I was able to teach my daughter how to roller skate, ride a bike, swim, and enunciate words like a pro. She's good. You see, we have to understand and prioritize our most important relationships. We have to strive for the best. And sometimes we have to sacrifice to make a better future for the folks, the ones that we love. So I packed up my bags and I went out on my 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th military deployments. Now, on my 8th military deployment, something magical happened. I was leading a heavy machine gun squad on the west side of the Tigris River in Iraq when I got a phone call saying that my son was born. By the time I made it home, he was already crawling. You see, he's always been a high achiever and overachiever. He's good. So shortly after playing with my son one day, I'm sitting down at the kitchen table and I'm thinking and wondering, thinking of ways to send him off to college one day. You know, how would I pay for it? And all of a sudden, the phone rings. I get a call from an old Navy senior chief. He said, "Hey Ernie, I've got a great job. I've got a job that will make you a superstar." He said, "If you take this job, you will rise straight to the top and your pay will triple." Whoo, folks. I remember I looked at my son, I glanced at my daughter, and that beautiful young lady I married all those years ago. And I said, "Senior, I love the Navy, but sometimes we have to understand and prioritize our most important relationships. We have to strive for the best, and sometimes we have to sacrifice our fame to do what's right to strengthen and grow those relationships." You see, many leaders sacrifice their marriages and families in pursuit of success or perceived happiness. For some reason, they think it's worth it. They think it's the best. And I'll guarantee you, you've seen someone like that before. But please, don't follow in their footsteps because they're wrong. They always think the grass is greener on the other side. And typically, once the damage is done, they wake up to discover that professional accomplishment and success is nothing without your family or the people most important in your lives to share it with. Some things you just can't get back. Sometimes you just can't get back. And child support is never a makeup. It's never enough. So if you want to make your relationships last, if you want to make them work, then you have to decide that it's worth it. You have to fight for it. Remember that opposites attract. Make your relationships a priority and stop taking advice from people who've never enjoyed a long and prosperous relationship a single day in their lives. Show appreciation for the folks you love. Be intentional in everything you do, and you'll prosper. Trust me.